What's going on? Good morning. I don't know what's going on over here. Oh, there it goes. Sheesh, that was forever. All right, we're doing 56 through 1, 2, 3. Good morning. I don't know what was going on this morning. It's moving slow. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. What happened here? What's going on? Is it the internet that's moving funny? Good morning. Let's see. Whew. I hope you're having a great day. I don't know what's going on. Let's get it started in here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I already got the mic on. It took forever for TikTok to get started, but I just got in from the gym. I want to get y'all in and get us out because we got stuff to do today. And it looks like the internet is moving crazy. So let me know what my quality on your end looks like. My friends is like, Mac, you gotta get a new iPhone. I'm like, no. But so far, I'm just like, what is going on? It's not working the way I want it to. But I don't know, Shaw, what's going on? Shawty! Let me know. Is it I don't know what's going on. It just feels like this thing is going mad slow this morning. Okay. Happy Tuesday. Let me know if it what it looks like on your end. Cause yeah, I don't know. I hope you can see me good. Hope you can hear me good. Let's get started. All right. So, hey y'all, welcome back. It's the Growth Hour, where clarity meets confidence and purpose meets power. All right. So today we're diving into part 2, part 3. Hey, good morning. We're diving into part 2 or part 3 of chapter 3 of I Am My Brand, and it's giving full blown truth teller vibes. All right. So first we want to start with our affirmation and all that good stuff, but we want to get started. If you don't know me, my name is Mecca Joy, Meccajoi. That is my name. That is what I go by. That is what is actually on my birth certificate. So that's my name. All right. Because people ask me, they'd be like, is it Shameka, or is is that your name? No, that's my name. From what I understand, my dad gave me the name, and for a long time I didn't like it, but as I've grown, I loved it. I love it, and I love it now. But it's Mecca, just so anybody knows, because I know sometimes people see it and they're like Mika or whatever. But it's Mecca, Mecca Joy. All right. Mecca is my first name, and just that's it, Mecca. Okay, just so you know. But I like to be called Mecca Joy. Joy is my middle name, and I just use them both. All right, but that's what it is. If you didn't know, that's me. All right. So today we're continuing chapter 3, part 3 of chapter 3, and we're digging into the brand audit process. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but today we're going to get a little bit more into it. And we're learning how to put a mirror to our brands and as is what I'm doing still working? Is what I'm doing still working? If your visuals, vibe, or voice aren't reflecting your excellence, it's time to call that out. If your voice and vibe aren't reflecting your excellence, it's time to call that out. And you know what? I'm glad that we're calling it out because I feel like my voice and my vibe hasn't been matching for a long time. And now it's starting to reflect all the goodness and all the greatness that is inside me. And now I'm starting to learn how to confidently share it with you guys because for a long time, I feel like I was just, creating content just to create it. And now it's like, it's an abundance of content that I can create to share and educate and teach people. And I'm realizing the little stuff that I know, well, I think it's little to me, it's big to other people that had no clue about it. So it's time to just share that information and get out my way, right? So I'm excited about that. I need y'all to drop a mirror emoji in the chat if you're open to seeing your brand for what it really is and I'm about to lose my gum. And leveling up accordingly. It was time to let that go anyway. Sorry, y'all. We just got in from the gym this morning. This is my second week being consistent with the new trainer, and I'll just tell y'all, I lost 2 pounds. I'm excited. All right, let's get back to it. So are you ready to level up accordingly? Let's go. All right, so today's affirmation, y'all ready? Is I am honest about what's working. I am honest about what's working and courageous enough to change what's not. I am honest about what's working and I'm courageous enough to change what's not. I love that because guess what? It takes courage. It takes so much courage sometimes to just do what the hell it is you gotta do, So I say stay focused, stay prayed up, and do what you gotta do so you can get where you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So let me send a message out to everybody. And I apologize. I know people probably like, damn, she didn't even speak. I was just trying to stay focused. So I apologize. Pharaoh fucking Ray, thank you for liking the live. All right, so mindset shift. All right. Clarity is uncomfortable. But staying stuck is worse. Clarity is uncomfortable, but staying stuck is worse. If your brand has grown, your systems, if your brand has grown, systems, strategy, and storytelling should grow with it. All right? So you got to make sure that as you grow, your systems and everything else is growing with you. Hey, y'all over white tea. So sorry. I just seen y'all over there and I had to come speak. Outside. All right. So here we go. So mindset shift again, just to repeat it real quick. All right. Hey, Heavy. Good morning. Clarity is uncomfortable, but staying stuck is worse. If your brand has grown, your systems, your strategy, and your storytelling should grow with it. All right. So let's get started on this chapter. Let's get started. The only reason I said we're reading 4 pages. All right, y'all. 4 pages is our max because this book is kind of big, and but I feel like a lot of the information that we're talking about in here is important. So I feel like if we overdo it by reading a lot, then we're not sucking it up, right? So just to recap on yesterday's, look at my hat. Just to recap on yesterday's homework, you were to go out, or not go out, but you were going to see who else is doing it, right? So you wanted to list your aspiring competitors, list your direct competitors, and list your non-direct competitors. I thought you went to work. I seen you driving. Okay. Yeah, I seen you driving. I was like, oh, look at me. All right. So, what is your pestle? Pestle. A pestle analysis is a look at the political, economical, sociological, technological, legal, and environmental trends in your market. Who would have thought that you look at all of those trends in your market, right? And it enables you to identify what is going on in the marketplace and how what is happening is impacting the success of your brand. Recently, I was delivering a keynote as at a conference in London, and I asked the question, who watches the news? Only a few people put up their hands. Most of the people in the room told me they didn't watch it as they felt it was sad and depressing. But you should be watching the news, both business and trade news, to understand where you sit in an ecosystem that is rapidly changing. When I told them the news tells us what's going on, someone shouted, sort of. I smiled and said, no, not sort of. You need to analyze it to identify the truth from the illusion. You need to analyze it, but you have to watch it to analyze it. You can't play ignorant when in business. The key is to study and analyze what's happening to identify where the opportunities lie. What new problems are occurring as a result of technological changes, global warming, and globalization? Oh, thank you, Tay. Good morning. Be aware of what's happening in your sector. Read your industry trade publications and the wider business news so that you can not only be aware of the shifting trends, but also understand these trends and position your business to provide solutions to new industry or consumer needs. I tend to take a half a day a week to review the news. I watch Bloomberg, CNN, CNBC. I read Business Week, Harvard Business Review, Marketing Week, and PR Week. Thank you, Tay. I indulge in Business of Fashion, the Dotson Brand Republic. I skim read the articles to keep abreast of what's happening so that I can add greater value to my clients. Reading around my sector gives me that competitive advantage. Remember, you have to be in it to see the opportunities. Thank you for the hype puff. If you don't know what's happening in your sector, how can you know what problems you are solving? Pay attention, y'all. As an example, in 2012, I reviewed what was happening economically in the global market, and I started to feel that working in the UK seemed like working in a saturated market. A saturated market is one in which there are lots of competitors and not enough demand. For me, I began to see a shift, whereas in 1996, when I started, the term brand was very new. By 2012, it appeared as if everyone and their mama wanted to be a brand consultant. That's crazy because it feels like that now. All going after the same or similar client group. At the same time, I noticed a real shift in the so-called emerging markets and really felt that with my skills and portfolio, I could add extra value. I began to recognize that these markets would become a hungry market for someone like me. A hungry market is one in which there is lots of demand and few direct competitors. It was a result of this pestle in 2012 that I took my career to Southeast Asia. And over the last 6 years, it has led me to work in Malaysia, Indonesia, Dubai, Ghana, Jamaica, Barbados, Turkey, Morocco, and Mauritius. Working as a brand consultant, that is amazing. What's more, as I continue to study the global shifts and continue to undertake my pestle analysis, I'm seeing that the Latin American market is opening up. With more multimillionaires than Dubai, the Latin American market has a growing entrepreneurial hub of activities with companies needing my level of insights and expertise. The pestle analysis continues to provide me with these insights, which are continuing to open new opportunities for my brand. If I had not done my pestle in 2012, this would not have happened for me. Because guess what? She went and she did the research to see, hold up, shit is changing. The market is saturated. I need to figure out where do I go so that I can do what I need to do, right? So here are some examples of how pestle trends are impacting high profile brands. P, political. Facebook had to review its data protection and data sharing because of political pressure from UK and the United States. E. Economical. Apple manufacturing costs will increase if China increases its labor costs, whilst simultaneously the possible decline in the middle class in Europe and the United States will impact the cost of its products' affordability. Who's that? Hey, Freak Nick! Sociological. Starbucks has had to think about the green and ethical chic consumers who care about the use of plastic and waste when it comes to how they package their food and beverages. And you think about, I mean, I kind of feel like the sociological would be also with the, as far as like Target and them dropping that DEI and them not realizing like that was going to affect them so much that, yeah, think that shit, it seemed like they might shut down pretty soon. You know what I mean? So it's like people have to realize how much people care. They didn't realize how dropping that was going to affect them, their bottom line. I'm sure they didn't think that, or they probably thought that the other races was going to keep them, keep them above water. But that's a prime example, right? Technological. Uber took advantage of the rise in app downloads and the ease of their use as part of the core offering of its brand and business. L for legal. Nike has to constantly consider the rights, the copyrights, and patents of its products to avoid illegal counterfeits. And then E, environmental. Coca-Cola has to make sure it operates in countries around the world where there is no shortage of water to be able to continue its global production of its soft drinks. When you study the pestle in your sector, you can see both potential opportunities but also potential pitfalls. However, I see people stuck in their businesses and careers, not sure why their brand is not making the mark and wondering what is going on. The answer is they are not studying the market, and as such, they keep doing the same thing they have always done. There is a saying, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. Surely you see yourself as a sane person. The sad thing is that both small and large brands find themselves in this rut. When what they are doing stops working, they start to think it's them, and that is not working. They begin to internalize it. Maybe it's me that's not good. Maybe my products are rubbish. When in fact, it's the market that has changed. Consumer needs have shifted and new trends have impacted market demands and thus the way their brand is being responded to. Hey, thank you for the daily heart, Chris. I was recently doing some work in the UK with a lovely lady who produced African inspired head wraps. They were not selling. I explained to her that her price was not the issue. Consumer analysis showed that her consumers could afford her prices, which were in line with those of her direct competitors. Her designs were beautiful and clearly not the issue. For her, having not done a pestle was the issue. She didn't realize that actually what was happening was that she was in a heavily saturated market. She needed to change the distribution and marketing of her products from just the UK to Europe, particularly France, Italy, and Germany, where there are many black women who want African inspired head wraps, but where there are fewer brands producing them. I also said she should review the Middle East, where wearing head wraps is particularly of the culture norm and where there are also growing African populations in places like Dubai. Thank you, Anna. Hey! It's important to know what's going on in the marketplace and to position yourself correctly. You need to stop promoting your brand and start researching the market. Stop posting cute pictures on Instagram and take time to really review what changes are happening in your sector. In doing so, you will realize that you are, in fact, fabulous. Okay? You are, in fact, fabulous. It's just that you need to take your fabulousness somewhere else or promote it in a completely different way. Okay? Thank you, Anna. Thank you. So, homework for today. What is your pestle? Pestel. Political, economical, sociological, technological, legal, environmental. Those are the 5 things that are in the pestle, right? So we want to look at those. We want to look at those. We want to look at those. So tonight, look at your pestle. Look at your pestle. Figure it out. If you're having issues, this is what's going to help you figure out, you know what? I might need to shift over here. I might need to go sell on the west side and then selling on the east side. You know what I'm saying? All right, so here's some key takeaways so far, right? Your brand audit is about honesty. Is your marketing really connecting or is it existing? Your brand must evolve with technology, trends, and consumer behavior. Case study, Kubi's client revamped her business from one-on-one sessions to scalable digital model. We read that earlier in the chapter, right? The process of a brand audit is important. Yo, we was talking about the pastel. Hold up, let me fix this. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all having a great day. But that was good. I don't like watching the news, but I definitely, I definitely feel like now, after looking at this and just watching the news in a different way, you know what I'm saying? You're watching it thank you, Tay. We're watching it to, not just see all the bad stuff that's happening on the news. We're watching it from a space to be like, you know what? I'm educating myself, for my business too. You know what I'm saying? So I think that looking at it this way and you being able to say, okay, boom, I'm not going to necessarily look at it to consume all the bad stuff, but I'm looking at even the bad stuff that's happening. You're looking at it, you're analyzing it to see the opportunities that could come from it. I don't know if you've ever watched the TV show Billions, but on there, that man, I think he became a billionaire because of the tragedy of 9/11, right? And so even though for some would look at like that's a bad thing, many people sit around just looking at, and not necessarily bad. It could be good stuff that's happening, that could affect your business or in ways, like the eggs right now going up, that's affecting bakeries and, all the people who use eggs. That could then, to be honest, it could have a trickle down effect to all types of stuff that we just don't even think about. You know what I mean? So I think it's important, looking at it now and, sometimes we get so consumed at all of the things that we're doing in our business and we're playing this part and this part and this part. If you don't have somebody looking at that stuff, this is the time to be, when you're up at night and instead of me watching Tubi and watching Lifetime happy Christmas movies, you need to go look at the business news, entrepreneur magazine, stuff like that to keep abreast of what's going on. So I think it's important. I'm really happy. We went through that chapter real fast. I'm really happy that we did that. And yeah. Pestle, Pestle, political, economical, sociological, technological, laws, and then something else. I don't know. I lost the last one. I was trying to remember it. That's all. And the last one was environmental. All right. So let's wrap this up. All right. So the key takeaways. These 6 factors impact what your audience cares about, what they can afford, and how they consume your content. Your brand must adjust language, offers, pricing. Phone's ringing. All right. So it says your brand. I can hang them up. Oh shit! I'm typing. What? I didn't hit the decline. Sorry. I didn't hit the decline. Why y'all still trying to stay around? All right. All right. Here we go. Sorry about that. Where we go? Where we go? All right. Here it goes. All right. So your brand must adjust language, offers, pricing, and presence to respond to these external shifts. So if stuff is happening out there and then you're like, oh snap, stuff is happening here, I gotta figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it. So the language, your offers, the pricing, and the presence, how you show up. And if you want to show up, do you want to get involved with political stuff in your business and talk about it? And some people choose not to talk about political stuff in their business, but we can definitely position ourselves and prepare to ensure that it doesn't affect us. So example, during the pandemic, social and economic shifts forced many brands to rethink delivery and digital strategy. So question, which of these 6 factors do you think affects your business the most right now? So the political, environmental, social, technological, laws, and environmental. I think for me, it would definitely be technological, probably political, because shit, stuff is happening with like TikTok and other social media platforms and stuff like that. So even though we don't think it can affect us, it's like when you really like get down to the nitty gritty and do the research, I think it makes sense that it's important for us to pay attention to this stuff, right? So 3 ways to use pestle in your brand strategy. 3 ways to use pestle in your brand strategy. 1, stay tuned into trends. Follow social trends, tech news, culture moments, and viral content. Don't be reactive, be responsive. All right. And number 2, adjust your offers and messaging. Adjust your offers and messaging. Adjust your offers and messaging. If the economy shifts or polices, I said polices. If the economy shifts and policies change, how are you supporting your people? Like recently, we had the BOI update. And the crazy thing is, I hadn't been hearing nobody talk about it because guess what? Some of the people still cashing out on those people who don't know that the BOI update is now, we don't have to fill that form out, at least for now, right? So people are still paying people to fill that form out, even though you don't technically have to, So I say pay attention. All right, now, number 3. Future-proof your brand. Are there new laws, environmental concerns, or societal values you need to be aware of? I mean, depending on your business, it might be important, Build a brand that's sustainable and socially conscious. Build a brand that's sustainable and socially conscious. So, which pestle factor is shaking your industry the most right now? Economic, tech, social, and culture shifts, or all the above, or none? I would love to hear what you got going on over there. All right, and then here we go. So here's our strategy challenge. This is the pestle strategy challenge. All right, so you want to do a mini pestle audit. Write down 1 shift or trend for each of the 6 areas. 1 shift or trend for each of the 6 areas. Thank you, Tay. Yes, definitely. I mean, political too. You know what I mean? You think about it when, when different things are happening politically about religions and stuff like that. And I won't say that that's technically your business. So let me shut up. All right. All right. Next one. Pick 1 thing you'll adjust this month in response. Pick 1 thing you'll adjust this month in response. And bonus, go live or post content about how you're evolving. Hey, Quan, Sorry if I said that wrong. Legendary. I know how to say that. All right, so pestle strategy challenge for today. Do a mental pestle audit. You're going to check on all the, it says at least one shift or trend for each of the 6 areas. Remember, the 6 areas are political, economic, technological, PESTL, law, E, environmental. So you want to go through there and see which areas shift or trend, right? Pick one thing you'll adjust this month in response. And bonus, go live or post about how you're evolving. And I need y'all to drop a target emoji in the chat, and if you're accepting this challenge like a boss, because at the end of the day, if we don't start doing these little things, I mean, these are so small that we could literally take 15-20 minutes to boom, get it done, hey, thanks, Tay, and be done. You know what I'm saying? So hey, y'all, I don't know if y'all know, but I've been thinking about changing my time, because I be feeling like I'm not getting enough done during the day. So I don't know, y'all. I've been thinking about changing my time to either 4-4-4 or 5-5-5. So, but I also been thinking about doing it later in the evening, but I be want to go to bed. So I'm trying to figure out, y'all, the times. I am thinking about, I love 11-11, but I also feel like, I feel like my tribe is at work. You know what I'm saying? And I may need to do this later in the evening. But I also feel like, I want to do it later in the evening too. Hey Josh, good morning. So just let y'all know that I've been thinking about it. All right, so that's it for day 9 of the Growth Hour. We've been reading this book particularly for 9 days. Good morning. And I want you to comment with the trend or change you're adapting to in your business this quarter. What trend or change are you adapting to in this business in quarter? Good morning, Josh. And if you're committed to building a brand that lasts, not just trends, I need you to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, send me some gifts, like what else? Follow, turn on notification, all that stuff. I need you to do all that stuff, right? And then share this with your visionary bestie, all right? And then come back tomorrow for more clarity, strategy, and brand truth. And we are finishing up chapter 3. Hey, thank you, Josh. We are finishing up chapter 3 tomorrow. All right. So remember, brands that ignore the world get left behind. Stay ready, stay evolving. It's your girl, Mecca Joy. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same energy. Remember, keep going, keep growing, and keep glowing. I love you guys. Thank you for being here with me. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye. Peace. And if you haven't joined the Growth Hour Collective, please do. All right, bye.